Hey everyone, it's Liz. Welcome back. I'm gonna do this flip through of like it's like an envelope correspondence collection that I've been meaning to get listed along with 75,000 other projects. I do intend on doing some no talking flip throughs soon, so I know some of you aren't much for the chatting and explaining this and that, and I don't blame you because we hardly have enough hours in the day to do what we need to do. So I do plan on doing that in the future. Now, let's get started. So I'm going to move some of these things out of the way. Let's see here. Trying to figure out which one I want to, what I want to show you guys first. All right, so first, I guess I'll show this last. This was kind of like what inspired the whole thing, was these awesome vintage file folders to make like a correspondence ephemera journal slash holder. So I'll do that one last. So with this set, it's a completed cover that I've made out of some antique lace and vintage fabric. Here's an old stamped tag, like a brass tag, metal tag. So this is not like, this isn't a signature sewn in. So these are like nice, oh, there's a gorgeous vintage rose button that I put. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys, I was out of frame there. Can you see the button? There's the tag. So it's not a signature, like a completed signature that I usually do. So this is like a bunch of scrap papers, old papers, fun stuff for you to use. It's lined with antique mattress ticking fabric. So it's a wraparound. So you do it like that. I'm still out of frame. I'm so sorry. Got too much stuff going on. So I'll just do a flip real super quick with some of the pages that you'll get. And these are all antique, vintage, no digitals. There's a piece of wallpaper. What's this? Oh, some French invoices. It's a piece from a floral book. And same thing on the other side. Okay. So I put that together. So whoever got this, if you wanted to make your own little, like it's supposed to be kind of with the idea that you can take it on the go, and it's just tied with this piece of sari. So you could take it on the go, pack it in your purse, in your lunchbox, put it in your car, wherever, and then whenever you have a second, some extra time, this is how you can get some paper therapy in, okay? So that comes with it. Also, I put together this fabric bundle with it. There's a 3D rose. There's a real pretty applique that I cut out of a piece of sari. There's some of that mattress ticking they're used in there, and some antique quilt pieces. Okay, so that'll come too. All right, let's get into some envelopes and such. All right, so here's a regular Western telegram, nothing fancy, and it's got the telegram in it. Here's one that I made out of a piece of old ledger, and this one has some stuff inside. So here's a vintage piece of embroidery. Oh, my flowers came out. Here's some, I pressed these. These are from my garden, and I put them, encased them in a piece of glassine. And then there's an antique postcard in there too, okay? So this does not seal, it just folds like so. All right, here, made out of some antique French paper from the 1700s, super thick, super durable. Just opens. The back has a little pocket. Let me show you the back. Part of a postcard. I believe this is the same postcard. So there's the top and the back. So there's a tag in here and a die cut. Is there something else in there? No? I'm sensing some. There we go. Okay, and a collaged wallpaper all over it. So inside, there's another tag. Here's a collage tag I did. So you can write on the back of that. And here's some of my favorite antique French ledger paper. This stuff is thick, it's durable, it can be torn, it can be folded. Like, you're not gonna damage this stuff. It's good stuff. So envelope is extremely durable as well, and I just wrapped a bunch of sari around it. I didn't tie it just because I knew I was going to be flipping through stuff. I didn't want a bunch of stuff to untie. So here's another envelope. I put a little cluster of fabric here, and I'm just going to slide this one off so I don't have to fiddle with the tie. There's a sliding pocket on the back with the collage tag. And it's been so long since I made some of these pieces. It's hard to remember what I did. So there's some embossed paper that I tucked in there. There's some die cuts I put in there as well. And here's another, oops, upside down collage tag. This is like, this whole envelope cover is one of my pieces that I scanned and copied. It's like an antique French textile. I'll have to put that on off camera. It came out really, really good. Okay, so here I have just an antique French document that I put the seal on. And this is nice, thick, durable paper too. This is from 1888, I believe. I'm gonna put a seal on it. Remember how I folded it. And it's just a collaged front. There's a little baby tag, some wallpaper, and a die cut. You could journal on the inside of this. There's some fabric, and I just stuck some like pieces of wallpaper, some handmade paper, and a vintage tag back there. Okay. I love how this envelope turned out. It's one of my favorite ones. Did some gold embossing on the front there. There's a little antique French tag in there. Lots of tags in here. Let's see, I'll do this one. So this one I just took it. I think it's a French envelope, I'm not sure. It's going to New York. This is just a piece of sari that I cut out. I love that flower. So this one, just paper clipped everything. So this is not tied as well. So this is what the inside looks like. Okay, so I just basically cut the envelope, laid it out, and put an antique postcard on this side. These aren't digitals, these are real postcards, but I love the script on the other side with the stamp and the postmarks. So I put them face side down so you can see the back. Now inside there's some more old pieces of paper and a vintage greeting card. This is from an old ledger from the late 1700s. There's another vintage greeting card. I keep going down, you guys. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm like way on top of my desk here. So I just folded those and put them in and just wrapped this around it. So that's how that worked. Again, I'll tie all this stuff when I'm done filming. So the next piece, I'm going to make some room. Next piece I'll do is this one. I'll do these tags. So this just ties a real pretty piece of ribbon. This was an antique like cabinet card photo holder that I just snazzed up. I collaged it. This is some antique wallpaper that I pasted. Or actually, it's vintage wallpaper. I'm sorry. I think this is from the 50s or 60s. That I put here, a piece of boho trim. And so I just made this like you could put a picture in. I kind of redid the whole thing. There's a tag in there. Let's see if I can get it back. That's the question. So you do have a nice window with some fun stuff framing it, okay? And this is the back, all collaged up with antique wallpaper and the usual stuff that I like to use. And this is just eyelets that you thread this ribbon through. I will do that later as well. Here's a couple more tags. I really like this one. I wish I'd made it a little more sturdy. It's just like super thin onion paper back here to write on. Then I collaged, like this is some antique French fabric and antique French ledger and all kinds of fun stuff. But I really like how that one came out. Then this one, this is from like a page from 1600s. This page that I did like an embossing on. So there's some old wallpaper, really pretty paper on the back. This is from 1866, the paper on the back. So a little bit of history there. I don't know what it says, but all right, now here's some extra cards you'll get. This is a cabinet card. It's got a really pretty back, so if you like scanning the backs of them, and if you like keeping and using digitals yourself that you kind of curate, that's a good one to have. And this old family photo, which is gorgeous. It's got this gorgeous embossing around here with a mom and her 2 kids. Okay, plain on the back. These are both real, authentic. All right, so this is some antique French postcard pages that I've cut to the right size that I wanted. There's some antique French lace, and obviously I have this little focal point there. So this is just like a little postcard holder or photo holder or letter holder for that matter. This is very simple. There's the back, see? So you can kind of see what I did. You can see the edges poking through. So you could use the front and the back. Of course, I'd be careful because it could rip. And you can take these are real French postcards. You can take them in and out and switch them around. You could have a few pieces of paper in here. I wouldn't put much just because it's so fragile. But all right, let's get to what started this whole collection. This is just a correspondence ephemera holder, I guess. Not really a journal because it's just made to kind of hold correspondence, and if you wish to write, like hopefully the supplies you need are in here. So this is some antique French fabric. This is the first time, I believe, that I've used this fabric. I really love it. I've collaged a lot of real French envelopes in here. This is a digital. This isn't a real calling card. I think thinking if that's the only one. I know this one is from my collection. I've scanned this and printed this. So this is a real one. So it's kind of like a couple layers. You got 3, right? So it's all 3 different file folders. Here's a pocket. Right, when you open it up, there is a letter in here. Envelope with the letter. And this is one of those old jukebox cards. These things are fun to play with. Okay, there's a little piece of old paper there. I might stick something else back there too. Envelope. This is a piece of like that thin blue onion skin airmail paper that they used to use. There's a ledger. There's a cute photograph. Not a photograph, I'm sorry, print. It's a digital, it's not real. That's collaged. So here's one of those baby placards from France. This one's antique. Good thing about this is it's pretty durable. The file folder that I used isn't crumbling or like I'm not getting any breakage with it at all. So here's some French wallpaper with a label and some pretty washi. Here's another old French envelope. There's another picture in there, an authentic picture. If I could stick it in at this angle, maybe. Yeah, okay. Here's one page. I didn't put a pocket on here. I hate covering up this design. This is from one of my French textiles that I scanned, the antique ones. But you could, obviously, you could add a pocket envelope. You could add an acetate pocket so it's not hiding it, whatever you wanted to do. So back here I tucked a lot of vintage and old labels that have to do with mail. That's two little tucks there. There's another postcard, which many postcards were butchered in the making of this project, I will say. And it was all the backs that I wanted. I didn't want any of the fronts at all, which is kind of funny because we usually love looking at the fronts, but all I wanted was the back. So another piece of that pretty paper. There's a pocket. There's an airmail envelope, a vintage airmail envelope. Here's an old envelope. It folds out. Oh, there's some goodies in here. So there's extra pieces from when I was collaging the envelopes, and then there's some stickers in there. And this is the back. Okay. All right, you guys, I think that's it. Thank you all for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.